All right, I'll be starting at the top of the hour. Welcome back if you're coming in, and I'll be starting at the top of the hour. New Nvidia driver 572.60 dropped today. And so far, so good. Stable. I had problems with the Nvidia app downloading it, and it could have been just because it was released and traffic congestion, whatever. So I went to the site, and even there, I got the first time I tried downloading it, told me it couldn't connect, but the second time worked like a charm. So I think it's just traffic and congestion, but I got it installed, restarted the thing a couple of times. With frame generation on for cards with DLSS, I was getting 124 frames per second. And I think, and I have most things at ultras and highs. So yeah, I mean, if you're into the FPS, yeah, I think you're going to be thrilled. Very stable so far. Everything looks great. Haven't had any problems. But OBS, the encoder that I use to stream to YouTube, it sets kind of a cap at 60 frames. So me generating over 60 frames is just like a waste. So I've got frame generation turned off and VSync on to cap it at 60 frames. So, and it's been handling and just holding 60 frames fine. I guess the Epstein files have been released right off the bat to some social influencers, which isn't really a good look. If the goal is transparency, it should just be, here you go, world. And hopefully today it will. It just, maybe they've been, given an hour or two, and I'm whatever. Just, just release the stuff, right? So hopefully that'll be available online, and I'm sure these people that have already got access to it will start dumping stuff soon. An update in news, breaking news, actor Gene Hackman has died, but now they're saying it is mysterious circumstances. His wife and his dog were also found dead, and at first everybody was saying it was carbon monoxide. But other dogs have been roaming around, and the latest update says they're going to look into it. There are people in Hollywood that are saying it's nefarious. So they're saying the door was open, a heater was moved, pills were found. So, we don't know. We don't know, but they're looking into it. Randy Quaid is one of the people out there saying he suspects this is foul play. Okay. All right, it's the top of the hour. Let me get switched over here. Before we get going too far, if you need a follower, I need a follower. I need to keep Christine happy so I can keep doing this. That is the most important thing in the world to me. And every subscriber that I get keeps Christine happy. So please, between one flight simmer to another, one gamer to another, one friend or family member to another, please like and subscribe so that I can keep Christine happy. Okay, and if you say hello in the chat room, I will immediately subscribe to you. I get the option to go to channel. When you type in the chat room, it gives me 3 little dots, and I can go right to your channel and hit subscribe and give you the instant gratification of knowing somebody's subscribed to you. So return the favor. Even if you have no videos up, a lot of people don't have anything up yet, but we all need a follower, and followers, so raise all ships, right? Okay, so we are back in Colorado now, which is lovely. I love being back home. We have been traveling all over the place doing these jobs, let them taking us where they may, and we've been doing pretty good. So we'll see where the jobs take us today. We're up near Castle Rock at the moment, and we'll just kind of check some jobs out here. The Robin. Let me zoom out a little bit and find out where they're going. That one's just going to Brighton. The Vision Jet Oh, I had a good Vision Jet flight yesterday. It made up for the crappy flights right before it. I took a big hit to reputation and my score and everything. I damaged the client's landing gear taking them their plane. Oh, horrible. Horrible. So thank goodness for that Cirrus Jet one. That one says it's a 2-hour flying to Yuma. That's Arizona though. It's pretty far, but the money would be really good. That one's pretty far too. 1 hour and 30 minutes to Greeley. Yeah, why not? And the Diamond is the DA62 is a nice plane. So 07 Co to KGXY. I'm an ant. I'm a bug. What's going on? Yeah, I'm really sad about that Gene Hackman stuff. I hope it, I'm hoping it's not. It does seem suspicious. It does seem weird. And, just somebody who's so amazing, to end up going out like that, or something horrible. When he was good in everything, man. I loved him in everything growing up. I'm always going to be, as a superhero kid, Marvel kid, and comic kid, I'm always going to love him as Lex Luthor. I think he's probably one of the best Lex Luthors we've ever had. He was pretty ruthless. I always loved him screaming, "Miss Tessmacher!" Valerie Perrine did make a comment on Twitter today, and it was really nice, and she says basically she's gonna miss her Lex. She was Miss Tessmacher in the Superman movies. Oh, I think I missed something. Yeah, a static port cover. Lovely day in Colorado. This is exactly what the weather's like out there. It's really beautiful today. Where's this? The static port cover. Aha.
Hey Cap, Mary here. Thanks for stepping up for this ferry flight.
Hey.
Today's job involves getting this DA-62 to Greeley-Weld County as soon as possible. Now that it's repaired, the owner needs her aircraft flown back to a field near her place. Her name's Taylor Cook, and she is waiting at the destination to pick it up. Now give this beautiful bird the VIP treatment it deserves. Take care.
Those are all the points of interest nearby, but I don't believe on this route we're going to be passing over any. Let me take a look at Bushtalk over here. And that's where we're at. and we're heading basically just straight north, really. So we might come by these over here. And that would be Bijou Creek and Old Trail School, Wiggins, Colorado. So if we happen to pass within a mile of those, we'll get an audio tour.
'07 Charlie Oscar traffic in Lima Kilo Quebec 6614 is taxiing to runway 20.
Well, how do we turn it off? How do we hide it? We don't. There's got to be a way. Oh well. I'm really reluctant to put some speed on out here with this uneven terrain. Such a nice plane to have to be living in the scrub. Are we hooked on a tree? Something's, we're running into something. It's forcing the plane to the right. I feel like we're hooked on a tree. Yeah. Gotta be really careful. That can immediately, and now there's one right behind us. Now that could immediately cause a crash. Hey, it was great seeing some of you folks in the chat room earlier. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the new folks that came in. Did you know that you're allowed to change your route in career mode? No, I don't know that I exactly know what you mean, changing your route. I apologize for the adverts. I think I have them on conservative. So there are 3 settings that you get in the YouTube studio when you live stream. You can set the advertisements for conservative, balanced, or aggressive. I can't even imagine how horrible that is. Let me double check and make sure. Yeah, I'm on conservative. And so, sorry. Bushtalk was up. But I'm on conservative, so it shouldn't be spamming you with ads. So I apologize on behalf of YouTube. YouTube! Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's good. Thank you for coming back. And no, I don't know what you mean about changing your route. in the in career mode at the moment. I don't like this field at all. It's gonna wreck me, man. Yeah, not the place to be mucking about with the aircraft like this. That's just shameless money. But then owning something like this and not putting in your own pitch and runway. Ranchers and farmers, I tell you. The hell are we supposed to be? And now it's telling me to like do a loop. What do you want me to do? Make a U-turn and align with the runway. They want us to do the safety dance, man. What was the point of that? Safety dance. I hope we're aligned properly. Yeah, well, I can't make that go away. All right, well, cross your fingers. There we go. Come on, up, get up, get up, get up. Doesn't want to take off. Wow. Just hugged the ground. It was gripping the ground tightly. I was pulling all the way back to get the thing coming up. $8,100 feet. Track the gears, bring the flaps up. Oh my goodness. I get it. All right, so let me try to find the autopilot function on this thing. So there's autopilot.
Engaging autopilot.
Easy, easy, easy. We need to get the altitude up. Let me turn it back off. Let's find the altitude button here. And we need 8.1. So now I'll turn it on.
Engaging autopilot.
Do a flight level change and let's do a heading hold. All right, now it's starting to climb. And let me look at the EFB again over here. I didn't import it at all. Really weld. KGXY. All right, let's come down here to direct. KGXY. Enter. There we go. And now nav. Now I do believe if you actually don't fly through the boxes, I could be completely wrong, but the GPS doesn't exactly always line up with the boxes, and I think I have taken hits to score by not flying through. I don't know, but right now I'm gonna go ahead and set it to nav. Let me slow down a little bit here. I don't know what my RPM are. We don't need to push this plane. It seems a little low, but yeah. So you kind of got to keep it up because it's trying to trim out and we're stalling. I was looking at the wrong thing, I think. That'll stop in a moment. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to scare anybody. Okay, let's have a... While it's stabilizing. Oh, it didn't do an alt hold. Alt hold. I wanted... Okay. Oh, I can't wait for... It's starting to turn green now, and you're starting to see green in the environment again. And I'm hoping that with like seasons, that we get to see Colorado turn much more green, especially closer to home back there. My home is along basically at the base of that mountain range back there. Not too far from it. and everything turns real green when we get a good amount of moisture. Everything becomes quite magical out here. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if we green up. That is one thing you guys out in the UK can definitely say. It's green. All you folks like Germany and everything else, my goodness, man. You are blessed with the green. And if you're just tuning in, you need somebody to follow. You need a follower. I'm it. I'm happy to be it. So please go into the chat room and say hello, drop an emoji, make a mark of any kind, and that will make 3 dots appear next to your name, and I can click and go directly to your channel and hit subscribe for instant gratification. If not, if you end up subscribing to me, then I have to wait for YouTube to process it, and then that takes a while, and then I have to go hunt you down and subscribe that way. And I'd rather that you just get your instant gratification of me subscribing to you immediately. And yeah. Also, if you're just tuning in, a new Nvidia driver released today. Hopefully it's a little bit easier to download now that most people are getting it. It was a little bit problematic earlier, but once it's installed, everything's fine. If you're looking for FPS, just raw FPS, turning on the DLSS to performance and turning on frame generation. Earlier, I was doing 124 FPS, 124 to 127 sustained, and pretty much not a problem. But for broadcasting purposes, I only need to have 60 FPS for the for encoding a live stream. So any more than 60 FPS, and I'm just wasting horsepower, GPU horsepower, and CPU horsepower. So I've turned off frame generation. I've got VSync on. It's capping everything. Actually, it's not actually giving me an FPS reading right at the moment. I'm at 80%, 79, 80% GPU, CPU. No, GPU. But I don't get an FPS reading at the moment. Wonder if something toggled off. And I'm at 30% CPU. I am broadcasting in 4K. I don't, as the encoder stream goes, until it fully processes the stream after I'm done live streaming, I don't know if then you get full 4K. But I know that right now I'm pushing out a 4K stream. So if the picture doesn't look all that great for you, there's a little cogwheel down in the bottom, your settings cogwheel for YouTube. And I have noticed sometimes when trying to rewatch or watch my own streams, it'll default to sometimes 720. So if you have a 4K monitor, or even, you want a 2100 by 1440, yada, 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 you can select whatever graphic options you want, but you can watch this at 4K. And it looks great. Uh-oh, what's going on? Did I have the power down? So we leveled out at 8.1 and I dropped the power again. Let me let it stabilize again. Come on, alt hold. Don't be problematic. So we're heading in the past. I don't know about it anymore. But we had friends or relatives that lived where we're headed. And you always knew you were close because it's a giant cattle. It used to be a giant cattle facility. And it just stank. If you've ever been around large cattle lots, they are stanky. They are so stinky. And so yeah, once you're there, you know, after like 30 minutes and the taste has fully covered your mouth and every bit of you, it feels like a slime on your body. Then you don't notice it after a while. But when you first get close to it and you get into the town, you're like, oh my God, how can anybody live here? This just is horrible. But it's so funny that our noses and our brains or whatever, after a couple hours, it's like, yeah, whatever. Blocks it out. Oh, somebody is in the chat room and I didn't see it. Kraska popped up. So let me get subscribed to you. Go to channel and the amazing Kraska. And it looks like you've got some flying stuff up. You've got some content. That's nice. And it is aviation stuff. Lots of it. All right. Turn on all. So I should get notifications from the amazing Kraska. Your missus came here, her head was like a mercat. I was like, meh, seen it, don't care. When I was back to the States with her, the roles were reversed. Yeah. You live in a pretty rural area. In medieval times, it was called Swine Town. So you know what I'm talking about when you get large cattle feed, whatever, animal lots. Yeah. Do you know guy that likes plane? Yeah, I do. I like planes. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I love flying. I love the simulator stuff. I don't know if that's what you mean, if that's what you're asking. Ruska the Amazing. I would love to visit the UK one of these days. It is a complete bucket list item. And I'm glad that you got to experience the United States. But as a kid, you know, as a young person, I was turned on to the works of Sir Thomas Malory, T.H. White, all the Arthurian stuff. And, you know, the truth of it doesn't matter. I was into that stuff growing up. I was very into anything to do with knights and shining armor and anything. And so, you know, the UK, you know, it doesn't get much better for that when you want knights in shining armor and castles. And so I would love to be able to have an extended period of time in the UK. I would love to do a castle tour. I think that'd be the greatest. And visit some armories and just look at weapons and go to the battlefields and check out all the old Roman stuff. That what is it? The Time Team? I don't know what that show's called over there. Like Time Team, I think, something like that. But the host is that guy from Blackadder. He played Baldric. Time Team, I think. Either way, they go around the UK and or other places, and they try to uncover a lot of medieval stuff, a lot of Roman stuff. Those Romans were pretty amazing. And I would like to visit Clarkson's farm. That would be a thrill. I would love to visit James May's pub. I'm not a big drinker. I'd try his gin, but just to go to James, I'm more interested in food, I think. So I know at Clarkson's place, they have that restaurant part that he opened up on it with the beef. Love to try some of that. Like to meet Caleb, that'd be great. But it's just so darn beautiful over there. If you haven't heard, breaking news, Gene Hackman, the Hollywood actor, legendary Oscar-winning Hollywood actor, and his wife and one of their dogs was found dead in their New Mexico home today. And initially they said they did not suspect foul play. But people are being, in Hollywood, some people in Hollywood are being pretty vocal on Twitter about it being foul play. And in the last hour, I don't know if it's the DA or the sheriff or whomever, has released a statement saying it could be foul play, and they're now looking into it. He was 95. And so, you know, if it was natural, right off the bat, people were saying carbon monoxide. They died of carbon monoxide poisoning. And we just don't know. Everything is just nothing but questions at the moment. So that's sad. But he was amazing. And I'm not so much a fan of Hollywood these days because politics taints everything. Politics taints everything it touches. And so I grew up just such a fan of Hollywood, cinema, actors and actresses, directors, anything to do with Hollywood. And now, because everybody's so politically vocal about everything, they've soured all of that. And so now I only have a handful of actors and actresses and directors and people in Hollywood that I would ever care to associate with. Just a handful. Also, in other news today, there's a new Nvidia driver out, 572.60. And as you can see, it's stable. Running great. The Epstein files, phase 1, are releasing today. And right at the moment, that's making a lot of people mad because only certain people in the media have immediately been given the file. And, you know, the last time I looked, before I started the live stream, everybody on Twitter was screaming. I call it Twitter, but X. Everybody on X was screaming that the administration better make it public and release the file publicly. It's one thing to give everybody a 5-minute, an hour lead on a story so that they can, you know, generate numbers and revenue. And that's a practice that's common, and we're used to that. But for something like this, you better hurry up. And it better not be just those folks are getting access to it. Now that would make people go crazy, insane. Because they're all supposed to be right about transparency and openness. Well, you'd better hurry up and put that stuff online and make that file available. So I am curious, as is everybody else. So, and I'm going to be looking into that later in the day to see what's coming out. For better or worse, if your name's on there, there's boy. Okay. So when you were in the United States, you say the best experience you had was a SWAT bust. I was sat there watching and filming it, spoke to the commander when it was over. Yikes. That's exciting stuff, but man, that's... I wouldn't want to be anywhere near it. Murphy's Law, man. I don't want to be anywhere near anything dangerous is going on. Just Murphy's Law. Get me out of here. Knowing my luck, I'll catch a hot one. A Jedi seeks not these things. That's something I usually say before tripping over my own 2 feet. I don't like to get too political on this channel when I'm flying around. When I'm doing these live streams, for the most part, you know, in some of them that were long and I was doing the world tour stuff, some long flights. And, you know, for lack of better things to talk about, I would talk about politics. And sometimes it's just not, you know, worth it, you know. So I'm trying to keep these as entertaining as possible without bringing any of that stuff up. If you want to talk about it, if you have any views about anything going on in the world, I'm more than happy to talk about it. I don't mind, but it's one of those, only if people are the ones bringing it up and want to make conversation. And that I should probably keep my mouth shut, because I don't want anybody to be mad at me because I feel a certain way about whatever. We all change over time. Our viewpoints change. I've changed a lot. I've changed political parties. I don't really have too many loyalties to any one particular party. I consider myself an American. And that's it. Whoever is the most red, white, and blue, that's usually who I'm voting for, depending on the way the wind is blowing. Wow, that is a bucket list item. Wayne got to go to Graceland, everybody. Yeah, wow. I had opportunities to travel around so much when I was younger, and I didn't take advantage of it. And there's so many things that I didn't see, and now I'm not really in a position. I would love to be able to take Christine around the United States. And this year, for sure, I would like to take her at least to some cool flying around Colorado, doing these kind of activities in the flight simulator. I've been discovering my own state. And with the Bushtalk Radio, doing the audio tours, again, I've been discovering ghost towns and cool attractions and great camping and fishing and recreational sites around my own state. And so here shortly, as we move into summer, I've been telling Christine I would really, really like to now go out and visit these places in my own state this year and get a couple in this year. So that'd be a start. I don't know that she would appreciate Graceland as much as I would. I would for sure. There is the Rocky Mountains. I mean, it extends forever north and south, but those are the Rocky Mountains to our port side. I was a huge Elvis fan growing up. Loved everything Elvis did. Oh yeah. Oh, you better believe it. Yeah, we do. We love the Beatles too. Elvis and the Beatles, Elton John. You know, I finally got to see Elton John twice, and only in the last few years before he did the retirement thing. So very happy because big fan my whole life. I have to admit, no, I don't have to admit it. Forget it. I'm not even going to bring it up. Okay. I wept a little bit when I saw Elton John for the first time because it was like, you know, like 45 years old, almost 50, and finally getting to see the guy. And and I had the best seats, and it was magical. Everything was perfect. And then the place that we went to, they're like, I think it was Elton John, his business company or whatever, that the venue that they were at, they're like, let everybody take as many photographs as they want. Don't stop people coming in with cameras or anything. Whatever. This is for them. And so, yeah. Wow. It's fantastic. Yeah, that is funny. Yep. I think I would have loved the Beatles on my own, but I had an uncle growing up who was, that turned me on to both Elton John and the Beatles. And, you know, so there was that attraction because he liked it, so I wanted to listen to it. But once I started having the albums for myself, I played them over and over and over and over and over. It was rough seeing Sir Paul in this last 2 weeks. They did the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. And turn this down a little bit. We're not going to get any point of interest audio tours, so they did the recent televised 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live, and Sir Paul McCartney came out and performed, and it's so bittersweet. Life is too short, and at that age, his voice is it's pretty much shot, but who cares? But knowing that that's the last time we're ever going to see Paul McCartney on Saturday Night Live, and that's it. That's the final performance. Yeah, Reginald Dwight. When I first got to the fan club, the Elton John fan club, I said Reginald Dwight, and all the fans over there jumped me, and they're like, he doesn't like being called that. He is Elton John. Understood. I get it. Yeah, his band, his original band, that's my favorite lineup. I love all the stuff Bernie Taupin wrote. The early stuff, to me, will always be the best. I have had a tough time appreciating everything in the last decade from the duo. For example, the Return of Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. I think that's the name of the album. I was really expecting every song on that to be, it had better be as amazing as every song and track on the original Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, and it's not. At least in my opinion. The most outstanding track of all, which makes up for the whole album, is the track This Train Don't Stop There Anymore. They also had a video for it that's just Oscar winning on its own. So between the song and the video, it made the whole album worth it. But I haven't really enjoyed much of anything in the last bit of their run, but it doesn't matter. Their old content is brilliant. No, I'm not a ma'am. All right, the amazing Kroska. All right, let's get back in here and turn off our autopilot. I'm not a ma'am. God, I hope I don't sound like a ma'am. Better start adding more bass into the EQ. Throw all the bass out. Try to do a slip and slow down. All right, gear down. Ah, there's a runway there and there's a runway there. Okay, well, which one do they want us on?
Kilo Golf X-Ray Yankee traffic in Lima Kilo Quebec 66142 miles east 5700. Ford inbound to land runway tree 5.
They want us to do a teardrop over there and then come back. Kind of like the other place. Yeah. Maybe I just sound like a girl. I don't have the deepest voice. A nice cloudy atmospheric day today, which is nice because when we don't have the clouds and it's sunny, man, we're up high and it just burns you to death. That's the only bad part, I think. I don't remember it burning us to death so much when I was a kid. Anymore, man. You go outside in the middle of summer and especially if you're wearing anything dark, oh my goodness. Start cooking up. Wayne, do you have 2024 or do you are you using 2020? If you do have 2024, have you seen the vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that are available? Have you tried those? The Jetson, the Joby, and the Archer. Okay, I see. All right, so you don't actually, you can change your route and I see. Yeah, set your own waypoints, create your own flight plan, as long as you take off and arrive at the place you're supposed to be.
Kilo Golf X-Ray Yankee traffic in Lima Kilo Quebec 6614 is on final runway tree 5 to land.
A little lag in there. What? Did I forget to put my gear down? Oh my god. I swore I had. That's what I get for thinking. Oh, that's horrible. We're sliding sideways. Oh, that was such a good flight to end in such a horrible way. And I'm moving. It's moving on its own. I've got the throttle off. They didn't even bother with trying to park me or anything else. They're like, you're done. Hey, well, they didn't ding me too hard. Even with the gear down, they enjoyed the smoothness of it all. That's probably why we were kind of gliding around. And they even gave me a super. Money must not mean a thing to that particular client. I'd be pissed off. It ain't nothing but paint. I was gonna repaint it anyway. They didn't even ding our reputation. Okay. All right, and we're at the almost at the top of the next hour. Wow. Cool. So you have tried them, but you prefer helicopters. I think at the moment the helicopters for their zippiness, but I love first of all, I love the vertical takeoff and landing. It's so safe. I like being able to just control exactly where I want to be altitude wise. And I love that I can control and dial in the speed. It's kind of wonky still. I don't know if in that video I was showing you, like I was rocking. You kind of got to rock your throttle from the midpoint forward or from the midpoint backward to have it increase or decrease the throttle 1 knot at a time. I would much rather, I'm going to have to go finagle with it and see if I can get it to where maybe like button pushes or something, maybe on the keyboard. But to dial in the speed, that is worth its weight in gold. That's so awesome. The only other aircraft that you can do that in for the most part is the F-35, and you know, who's got billions of dollars sitting around to play with one of those? Or the Osprey. So it's truly brilliant. Love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so it is time for me to do another break. And so I'm going to break for about 1 hour and then try to be back at the top of the hour for the next live stream. If you have any suggestions at the moment, I'm going to stick around for a few minutes. If you have any suggestions on where to fly, what to do, any suggestions on what I do in the next live stream, I'm open for it because it doesn't matter to me. I'm easy, so I can do anything. And but right now it's just kind of been building up money, working my way back to Colorado. I'm in no hurry to create a company yet. And all I want to do is just keep doing these jobs and keep building up the credits. Because everybody's informing me that when you create a company, everything's super expensive, your daily insurance, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just in the making money phase right now. That's cool that you're a geek with helicopters. I was saying in I've been doing helicopters recently, getting my certification and doing helicopter missions. And I was saying that if you are one of those folks out there who is a helicopter geek, my hat is off to you because it's very different to me. It's very hard getting my head around it sometimes. It was initially. I'm getting better. And I also don't have foot pedals. And so for me, it makes it difficult using a Sidewinder to do some of the things that, like turning and trying to not slip and getting your rudder and tail around. And either way, also the controlling, that's another reason why I like the VTOL, is I'm getting better about taking my time, being patient, maintaining the proper collective to not come crashing down. And I have to continue to develop the zen for that. Right now I suck. Balloons over Wiltshire. That sounds like something to do. Okay. So I will see you at the top of the next hour, and we'll get into a balloon. I've tried it once, so I can't guarantee I'm going to do very well, but I have done it once, and I've got to figure out the fuel thing because that didn't last very long, or I was using it up too much, or either way, we'll figure it out. See you at the top of the next hour. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe.